Hey guys, I'm Nido King, and last time on Prince of Persia Warrior Within, we went through a sand portal, and ended up back in the past. Everything looks new and shiny. Well, not really shiny, but anyway. The traps are working, so that means that I actually have to expend a little bit of effort to get past them. Not all that much, you just have to watch how they're moving and time your movements carefully. And if you screw up, there's always the recall power. I'm gonna try to steal this guy's weapon. But instead I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Retreat! Regroup!
Reembowel? I don't think he's gonna be doing any of those things anytime soon. So yeah, this room, in much better shape than it was before. And I guess that button is important. Yeah, they wanted to make sure I got a really good look at this room. And now I just gotta fight a whole bunch of guys.
Any enemies this day?
Again, general strategy, don't be between them.
You will pay for this transgression.
Alright, let's try the other move. That worked a bit better. And you die too. Everybody gets to die. And now I gotta get that door open. So this is where that look around the room gets kinda helpful. Actually trace my path. Get another chest. More artwork that I don't really care about. And this was the ledge that we climbed around the wall from before, when the hallway had disintegrated. Now we just have to use it to get from one side of the room to the other. And now we're at the button. And the door that we couldn't open in the present, we can open in the past. You can see how all the architecture used to look before it crumbled. And I suppose technically still does if we're talking in the present tense about the past. So it's kind of weird. Couple more guys. You got a tree in the middle that you can use to
Come before.
pull off some of your acrobatic moves there. And again, the only reason to come up here, it's kind of out of the way. This button activates one of the more interesting secrets of the game. It's a lot easier to come back here later, but we'll see if I can pull it off. Rolling is slightly faster than walking. Kind of like Legend of Zelda. And I'm going to give it maybe 2 more tries, and then give up and just come back later when I've got a power that helps me get in there a lot easier. Nope, I made it. Now we have to make it through this trap-filled corridor. Again, there's no time limit, so just hang out, watch what's going on, and be warned that spikes in this game work differently than any of the Prince of Persia's past. Before, you had to walk slowly. Now you gotta book it. Alright, almost there. That blue glow means I'm at the last stretch. I just kind of cut diagonally across the hallway, and I'm going to have to go on the left side of this one. I can't believe I did that. No hits. And this is the life upgrade system in this game. No longer do you just drink a hidden potion or walk across a bridge to a fountain in the middle of nowhere. Now you gotta get through a corridor of deadly traps. Fortunately, the traps all deactivate as soon as you've got the life upgrade, so you can just walk right out. And of course, you have to use the button to open the gate again. At this point, I think I can just jump right to the far side. Stupid urn. At least that kind of urn always has sand in it. But I'm going to take the long way around just to show you. And of course, you've already seen this, so I'm going to use a technique that this game actually uses when you repeat a cutscene, and just speed everything up. I love the fact that you can still sword slide down the tapestry when it's already been cut in half. That's just beautiful. More of the same traps we've seen before. Now they move up and down, as well as side to side. Just wait until those two are far apart, and go through, and almost missed the fountain there. Now we get to fight ninjas. I have no idea why their legs are just clouds of smoke. But vaulting attacks are really effective against them. Keep throwing little knives at you. They're not shuriken. I'm trying to remember what the name for the little knives are. Kunai, maybe? But anyway, I got this tiny little dagger as a secondary weapon. Let's grab a sword instead. And now we can get up the fortress stairs. These things were crumbled in the present. Now we can just trundle right up. All the enemies scream at us. Yeah, when you take a lot of hits in a row like that, particularly against a lot of enemies, it's usually a good idea to go ahead and rewind, because you're going to get more sand from the enemies. But I didn't do that here. So I'm just taking a lot of hits and not getting anything back for it. I didn't take out the ninja while I got the chance. Fortunately, the prince is even skilled at using his sword to block projectiles. Usually vaulting attacks work pretty well. I don't know what happened there. But you want to try to catch him at the end of that teleporting move that he does. That's the best opportunity to get in a few hits. So finally, we get to move inside, and now we got spinning blade traps in the corridor. They're really easy to dodge when their blades are parallel to the walls. And I don't really understand why there's no floor here. I mean, in the present it made sense because all the floors had fallen away. But in this case, they just don't have floors in the corridors.
Earned yourself many enemies this day.
Yeah, there's a block button. I know. Yeah, the blades are a bit harder to dodge when they're perpendicular to the walls, but you can just run through between swings. And I think this is the Great Hall. Not really sure what you'd call it. I mean, again, missing large sections of floor. They've got doors up on the walls that are in the middle of nowhere. You can't get to them. I'm not really sure what the architects were thinking. If they were thinking at all. And yes, I know there's more to it than that. We'll get to that later on. For now, stealth kills! Oh, no, they didn't come up with stealth kills until the Two Thrones. This one, I'm not even sure if you actually do more damage when you hit the enemies from behind. I don't think so. There we go. Take one of them out, even the odds a little bit. And just one-on-one. And I really didn't notice how low my health was getting there. Yeah, it's kind of a waste to get down to this low health and then use your rewind just to undo one hit. Like I said, if you're playing this game yourself, rewind if you take 3 or 4 hits within a couple seconds. There's a save fountain over there, which I'm going to use before I proceed any farther, because I don't want to be one hit from death all the time. And we can't get through those doors over there, although that is our eventual goal. So instead, we're just going to have to navigate this room, get up to that balcony, which is the only other way out. And you notice we're kind of retracing our steps at that point, but one level higher. It's pretty much the biggest complaint that I have with this game, is this section coming up. We'll get to that in the next couple videos. Probably not this time. So, more fighting out of nowhere. I'll cut a guy's head off with a vertical slice, why not? And now we got death pits, and we've got spinning blade columns. They're really easy to dodge at this point. They get harder later. Take the tutorial's word that dropping is what I want to do at that point. And almost mistime that. Just want to slide down the ladder between all those columns. And here's another spot where I'm going to be climbing down a ladder behind a guy's back. Would be great to be able to do a stealth kill, but nope. That works just as well. And now I've got to do my favorite move in the game, but not on that wall. This wall. I don't know if that does as much damage as it looks like it does, but I told you, the wall run combat moves are the best part of the combat in this game. Now, blade columns and spikes. We've got a really wide window of opportunity and the easiest pattern of blade columns ever. And we finally caught up with Shadi despite all the waiting and distractions and stuff.
I'd best find that woman. She's probably gone for reinforcements.
So the camera showed us where the lever to open the door is, but first we got a whole bunch of enemies to fight. And a Kunoichi behind me, which is a new enemy type. If you can get up onto that plinth I just jumped off of, you don't actually have to fight these guys, but it didn't work for me this time. You can't vault over Kunoichi. I tried. I failed. You will learn to hate those women, and it's fortunate that I managed to take her head off just there. We'll be seeing more of them in just a minute. Meanwhile, there's ledges all around the edges, there's some weapons there, probably a chest somewhere, but I'm not going to bother with it for now. I think I've hinted enough. We're going to be coming back here pretty soon. And I gotta get up to that ledge over there. So just change direction a couple times. Easier ways to do it exist, but that works. Nice, easy enemies. And that gate they just came out of closes forever. You can't get through it. We're just climbing up to the top of this room. Even though the fighting is probably better in this game than any other Prince of Persia game, you still don't want to have to do more of it than you need to. Thought this was an empty ledge, but nope. And again, trying to vault over her doesn't work. Good news is, the other grappling moves do work. So you can jump over and stab her in the back. The only really useful one, though, is this. Throw anyone off a ledge, they're not coming back. Now we gotta cross to the other side of the room and do all of that again. But we're almost at the lever. It's right over there. I didn't see that ninja there. I think that's the point. Now, sadly, we have to go down before we can go up. This bit is just a waste of time, really. Just slowly advance across the bar, one step at a time. Wait for her to come to you. Jump. Slash. All it ever does is make you go slowly across a part where you don't really need to do that. And I couldn't get up to the bar in time, so gotta fight again. She dodges everything. Not one hit yet. Okay, I'll try throwing her again. It's about the only way to really deal with them. And I don't know how she managed to fall off, but she did. Yeah, she wasn't very good at her job. The old wall bounce. And yet another ninja. And a Kunoichi comes up from behind while I'm fighting him. Fortunately, that move isn't nearly as painful as it looks. And I really don't want to have to deal with this problem anymore. Time to throw you off the edge.
There's so much.
Alright, I'm done with you. The good news is, you don't actually have to fight most of the time if you can just jump away. I'll try to do that more often, too. Not a lot of opportunities to do it, but when there are, I'm gonna skip the fighting. So now we just jump to the lever. Wait. Okay, I guess the lever is, straight overhead. There we go. Usually they make you jump to the lever and then use it as a swing to get to the next part. That really threw me off. So now I'm going to actually smash all these pots trying to recover the sand tank I had to use. And a nice tricky corridor. Once you see that there's a tapestry down below you, then the path is clear. The good news is that jumping onto these poles, he's really good at keeping his balance. Actually, walking across them gets tricky. You have to be careful to not press too far to one side or the other or he'll fall off. He'll just grab the edge and you pull yourself back up. But, again, takes more time than you might like. At least it's not God of War. And this would be a good place to stop, but I think there's something important about to happen. Yeah, I guess we're not really concerned with whatever that was.
You! Help me!
It is as they say. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
He'll just stand there and watch her get thrown off the ledge, of course.
Leave her alone. You and I have unfinished business.
So now we fight Shadi again for keeps. The good news is she gets easily distracted trying to step on that woman's fingers. And she's only got one new move, I think. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same fight as before. But with edges you can fall off. That kick. That is the reason you don't want to use your sand tanks to undo damage in this fight. If she hits you with that kick, you will go flying, quite often right off the edge of the ledge. So, you want all your rewinds available to undo instant death. And that was kind of silly. Only actually got one weapon here, but not like I really need to do any combos at the moment.
Is that the best you have to offer?
Still cannot get those counters, but this time when you get into the button mashing contest, it's actually easier to follow up with something. You can get a good combo going, you can do a lot of damage very quickly. Problem is the counters don't work that way. She caught me off guard. I don't know how she did that. Rather, how I screwed up so badly. Got my back to the ledge. That's usually not good.
You call yourself a master swordsman?
That always seems to happen. I don't know what it is. She just doesn't go into the animation for actually spearing you with the blades, but you go telekinetically flying, I guess. Oh, you're gonna taunt me? Alright. Obviously not gonna vault when her back is to the ledge. And, yeah, usually she can't hit you if you're flipping away, but I guess she caught me with her foot that time. Fortunately, that wasn't the kick, that was just a kick. And yeah, this time we do actually have to finish her off. I always miss the counters. Not that I guess it really matters when the counters are as weak as they are in this fight. Alright, enough counters. She's almost finished. I'm just gonna go in with everything I got.
Wait! Please, I must speak with you.
What do you want from me?
I seek an audience with the Empress.
The Empress meets with no one. Who do you think you are?
I am the Prince of Persia.
I see. Today is a very important day. She cannot be disturbed.
I don't think you understand how important this is.
Don't you know? You cannot change your
Cannot change your fate. Was she speaking to me? How could she know my mission? Watch out! Stay there! I will find my way to you!
No, Prince. Leave this place and never return. The Empress has no love for the world today. She will kill you if she learns of your presence.
Alright, so as usual, we throw someone else to safety and stay in the danger zone. How heroic. And at this point, I know there's a secret passage over here, which I'm trying to remember how to open. It's about this chest on the way out. And then I remember, you pull the altar from this side. There we go. And, of course, we will be seeing more of that woman later. And she'll introduce herself at that time. Now we've got a much trickier trap-filled corridor to get through. Kind of have to adjust your path while you're running over the spikes to get there. Now we got a rotating spike on the far side, and I just rolled right into it. This is really tough to do straight after the shoddy fight because you're probably really low on health, and you don't have the leeway to make one mistake. And if you run out of sand and die, then you gotta do the shoddy fight again, I think. I almost made it that time. Think I'll try the other side of the hallway. Because this is the direction that the blade is spinning, so... Just got through there. And fortunately the last section is pretty easy. You gotta roll under that first log, and then just make sure you're passing by the second log while it's up. And there we go. I made it. Again, I believe you come back here later, and it's a lot easier to get through. I'll point that out when the time comes. Life upgrade number 2. And that fills up all my health as well, which is very handy, although I don't think there's anything that'll be a threat to me before the next save fountain. Well, fortunately I can get past them easily enough. I've never seen that happen before, but then I've never played the PS3 version of this before. Okay, we're out of danger now. So, to get out of this room, since the stairs have crumbled, we need to use these blocks that fell down during the cutscene. What's rather interesting is that that's why, if you die and have to rewatch a cutscene, when you skip through it, instead of just skipping the cutscene, they actually make it play in fast forward. And I understand that because a lot of flags are tripped during cutscenes, for example, those blocks falling down, they actually don't have to figure out which flags those were, since they're actually just playing the cutscene really fast. It saved them a lot of processing. So, that's pretty much everything I know about the development of this game, and I gotta go up this way. They're really generous at this point in the game, and if you screw something up, then it doesn't hurt you too much. And here's the other new movement mechanic for this game, which, for whatever reason, didn't come back in the Two Thrones. Not that the ropes are particularly interesting, they're just there to extend a wall run, basically. And I'm going to try to fill up my sand before saving. There we go, all 3 tanks. So next time we're going to catch up with that woman and find out what's going on.